Hello and welcome back to Ixion. In our last episode, we finished up the prologue. We engaged the VOHLE engine for the first and, well, perhaps last time since it's broken. And we headed out somewhere, possibly nowhere physical, and possibly just somewhere temporal. But we have to do some investigation here to see what exactly happened and what is going on. So we are here once again in orbit of the moon. The moon is a bit further away from the Earth than I think it's supposed to be. And the Earth also looks a little bit different. So let's go ahead and do some investigation. Let's also click at these tutorials real quick just to talk about a couple things. So, as we found out, the Tiqqun's hull suffered some damage as part of our efforts, and we're going to go take a look at that. But just let it be known that you have to go to EVA airlocks and turn on the ability to repair the hull. Otherwise, you will constantly be sustaining damage to the hull, and eventually your hull will breach, and you will lose. So keep that in mind. Also, there's some stability and trust issues now. We've lost that almighty DOLOS buff, so we now have to actually work for our stability and trust. So keep that in mind, and you want to, of course, make sure your trust is going up as often as possible. And let's see here. We have also just talking about the trust gauge and how your stability affects it. Finally, game over, mutiny or destruction. So if your trust goes to 0 or your structural integrity goes to 0, you lose, i.e. the ship blows up. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look inside the ship now and see what's going on in here. You can see right away our hull integrity has a minus 20 from VOHLE jumps. That means we will lose 20 hull integrity every cycle. We are also going to lose 8 hull integrity for every sector we have. For our first sector open, I'm assuming every sector, but I don't know actually. I haven't opened my second sector yet, even on my test game. But we have minus 8 from that. So every cycle we will lose 28 hull integrity, which means we have to find a way to keep the hull repaired by at least that amount, and preferably more than that. And that's done here in the EVA airlock. The EVA airlock, you can turn this on and it'll activate hull repair, and your workers here, all these 9 workers, will repair the hull when you don't have other external construction jobs for them to do. You can also turn on hull repair here in the external view, just to keep that in mind. If they're building solar panels, for example, they will pause repairs. So also, you don't want to string too many jobs together for them, otherwise they won't be able to keep the hull repaired. So let's unpause and a tutorial on batteries. We need to research and start building some batteries so that we can keep our ship running, keep everything running when we have to move the ship. And we now have 2 tasks here. One, we need to find an asteroid with iron deposits. That's in order to repair the Tiqqun. And then we also need to feed our crew. We need to go to the Urshanabi, which we do see in orbit here, and resolve the event, the Ghost of Urshanabi, on the system map. And also we need to feed 1,000 crew members. So that's 1,000 crew members once, or 100 crew members 10 times, or whatever. We also have a couple of events here, so let's click on those. The first one is, are we the last of us? Administrator, the crew are asking a lot of questions about the state of the Earth. Munchie behavioral algorithms predict a decrease in productivity of 22% if those questions go unanswered. As administrator of the Tiqqun station, you should find some answers quickly. Well, we need to commit to sending an expedition to Earth. That's our only choice, so we're going to do it. And then, of course, end our data listening protocol. And that gives us another objective to go to Earth. And then also we have an event here, Moon Oddity. Administrator, you may have noticed that the moon has broken apart. The crew are aware of this, and many rumors are spreading throughout the station. You will have to make an official statement. DOLOS has many enemies. Something must have happened during the test jump. Being such a high-profile event, it was the perfect opportunity for them to strike and sabotage our plans. It's our fault. Despite our robust safety measures, a system failure at the exact moment of the jump caused the engine to drag a part of the moon with it into self-similar space. This failure has cost humanity dearly. Our mission now is to rebuild. or it was humanity's fate. Evidence suggests a great deal of time has passed in the solar system. The moon's destruction is obviously a consequence of humanity's selfish and warlike instincts. Now, I happen to know, once again, because I've tried all three of these, that they all cause the same immediate effect. What I don't know is, do they have any long-lasting effects for taking any one specific one? So this one is kind of a lie, but also possibly not a lie, based on what we know so far in the game. This one is probably the truth, at least in part. Whether it's also related to this one or not, I don't know. And finally, this one here seems like a bold-faced lie, but who knows? It could have also been true. I think I'm just going to choose the first option, because as far as I know, like I said, it only has one effect. They all have the same effect, at least immediately. So, and that is a minus 5% trust penalty. So that means that now our trust is much, much less than it was before, which shouldn't be surprising to anybody. So now that we have a couple of things to do, let's go back out here to the system map, and actually let's move our ship to Earth first. The reason I want to do Earth first is because A, it's closer, and as you can see, it's a bit closer, and I happen to know that you get a decent amount of resources from Earth, so we're going to start at Earth and then go from there in a little bit. I want to remove the the alloy from here, and I also want to start making a mining ship so that we can find an asteroid with iron deposits. Our ship has arrived at Earth. We can go into here, and we have no signals have been received from Earth. Yeah, I would imagine not. The oceans seem to have evaporated, and the surface temperature has risen significantly since the Tiqqun was last in orbit. Atmospheric readings indicate the presence of strong dust storms and dangerously high levels of carbon dioxide, radiation, and microplastics. The blue planet will never again deserve its name. So we have 3 tasks here, and these can be done in any order. You can do bottom to top, top to bottom, random, it doesn't matter. These are all able to be done. You can do them in any order you'd like. So we're going to start at the top because, well, top to bottom, I guess. Investigate DOLOS headquarters. The VOHLE team will proceed to the coordinates of Inner Heaven, the former headquarters of DOLOS AEC on Earth. So that's going to take 1 cycle to resolve, and while that's resolving, let's go back inside. No, let's stay outside, and let's send a probe out to look for some iron in order to proceed on this route. Right here near Earth, you can already see there's a little bit of iron. At least there's a nice big iron patch right there. We can kind of go out in that direction. If we do, I think there's a way you can get both of them. But I think we'll just go here, and I think that means we'll get both of them. But we'll see how it works out. We'll send that probe, and then they're going to, of course, build us another probe while that one is sent out. And we are building our mining ship now. Also, I do happen to know what this icon means now. This is the waste icon, and we haven't gotten to the point where we are processing waste yet, but this just tells you that there is some waste accumulating here in the tech lab. And we need to actually unpause this because it does produce a small trickle of science over time, every 30 cycles, which is why I wasn't really bothered by it being paused, because, well, we had so much, it is so much time, it doesn't really matter. So we found some ice and some iron. Okay, I thought we might find 2 iron out here, but that's fine. This has 519 iron. Nice. We don't have our mining ship built yet, so let's go ahead and work on the science ship team's task here first. The converted oil rig, which DOLOS use as its state-of-the-art headquarters, is gone. Only a few metal scraps remain, scattered across an expanse of dusty, cracked earth. There is no sign of survivors. We can now extract 45 science and 225 alloys. Now let's investigate our personal location. The VOHLE team will attempt to find your family home. This is kind of an amusing one because, well, why does anybody care where I lived? But I guess we're supposed to have a thing with that, so we're going to do it. That's fine. So once the mining ship is done, there it is, the Schwarzenegger. We wanted to mine iron. We're not going to worry about ice. ice is not something we're going to need anytime soon. So we'll just have it pick up the iron for now. And we can also have the Quicksilver pick up iron, but perhaps at a lower priority than everything else. Because this should be out here now, zipping around, I hope, picking up the alloys from Earth, I hope. And now that we're working on mining some iron here, we have to mine the whole thing. Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. Now that we are here, we're working on some iron, then we can also start scanning for other places to go here in the system. We know vaguely where the planet should be. If Earth is on this orbit, then obviously Venus should be on this orbit. And we just want to look for a POI right there, which is probably where Venus is. So let's scan that. I don't think that we could have done any more damage than to the moon. I don't think we damaged any of the other planets. But we do also have the Urshanabi to go to. So once we finish up here with Earth, then we'll do the Urshanabi, and then we can work on seeing if there's other events at other planets. I want to set this one to raw iron ore, and then that way we can be able to process it when the time comes. And I also want to start the research on steel mill, as the game has indicated we should do. So let's go ahead and do that. We don't have enough science to finish it right now, but our science ship will start collecting science at Earth once we finish the tasks there. So we'll let that run. And you can see our hull integrity is still falling, and it's going to continue falling until we come in here and turn this on. So let's just go ahead and do that too while we're at it. That'll cause the truck every so often to every half a cycle to deliver an iron or alloy rather here, and they'll just keep it repaired. However, you don't want to repair too much, because as you can see here, where is it at? Right here. The higher the hull integrity is, the longer it will take the EVA airlocks to identify new breaches to repair, lowering their efficiency. So while I don't think that actually affects the efficiency of the alloy, although maybe it does, it definitely affects their time efficiency. So you don't want to get the repairs up too high. And actually, in fact, maybe we don't even want to bother repairing at this stage at all. Yeah, let's not repair here at all, actually. Turn that off. Let's go out here and deal with this. That and this one here. Summary of intelligence on Administrator's home. A huge crevasse cuts through the ground where your home once stood. There is no trace of civilization. So 45 more science, 121 more alloys, and 9 electronics. And then finally we can scour the globe in search of survivors. The team will use all the tools on board the VOHLE to search for any signs of civilization, community, or survivors. That's going to take 3 cycles, so we have a bit of time now. I don't think there's anything left that we can really build. We just need to let them finish gathering up the stuff here at Earth, and we're going to let that mining vehicle continue mining. Now, what's happening here, since I haven't talked about it yet, is the mining ship is just like converting the iron from mineable to collectible. And then the cargo ship still has to come out here and pick it up. So that's why I set the cargo ship to have a lower priority on iron, because right now we want it to pick up the stuff from Earth that we can use right away. And then once we have the research done for the steel mill, then maybe we'll change our minds. So they may have collected a little bit of science here, because I think we should have had 90. So they collected a little bit of it, but not enough in order to finish the research we have. But that's fine, because we're not going to do anything else with the lab until we have that science anyway. Let's go a little bit faster, I think. We'll go medium speed for a little while. And so the research is proceeding, but we're only going to be able to get 80-something, maybe % of the way through until we get more of that science back. We do have some food, not a lot. We're going to need to have 20 food to feed everybody. And we have 20 food in there. We only have enough food for less than 10 more cycles after the cycle 50. So we have to be careful with that as well. Although we are growing some, but we're only growing 3 food every cycle. and we need 20 food to feed everybody. So really, we should have 20 of these farms. But there are some secrets, surprises. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to make this one iron. After all, I'm going to make this one iron. And I'll show you why when we get there, I think. And I think I may even change... Yeah, let me change this one, actually. Let's, actually, go ahead and finish the food production there. And then we will pause and then dismantle this. I'm going to actually rebuild it differently. Once they finish dismantling it. I'm going to rebuild them like this. And the reason I rebuild it like this is because that'll save me a tile. I think. Or does it not? It actually doesn't. Can I cancel that? That's fine. We'll just dismantle it anyway. I thought it would save me a tile. I thought they were going to be narrower, but they're not. Okay. Guess I should have checked that. The science ship has completed its tasks here on Earth. After a long search, we have found nothing but rubble. We've seen no signs of life, not even a corpse. The lunaclism seems to have caused a series of events that precipitated the collapse of thermo-industrial civilization. The Earth has become a toxic and arid wasteland, scoured by harsh winds, now more inhospitable than Mars. The only remnant of civilization we found was a fallen stele where the city of Washington once stood. Stuck in a crevasse, it had been sheltered from the wind. A prayer imploring divine forgiveness was engraved in gold on its surface. So that gives us 97 more alloys, 149 more polymer, and 45 science. And let's move on.
Request awaits your attention.
Okay, what do we got now? Here, we need to safeguard humanity, we must find survivors and increase the station's population. We do not have time to go through the classic reproductive cycle of your species. Adding new members to the Tiqqun's crew will have a positive impact on morale. Cryonic stasis, a practice pioneered by DOLOS, was in growing use even before we left the solar system. There is a very high likelihood that cryonic pods containing survivors await discovery. Find and collect 500 cryonic pods. And end the data listening protocol. Let's turn that back on and open it up for this. And then we also have Administrator. Mission reports from the expedition to Earth are being discussed among the crew. The thought of having lost all loved ones left behind has destroyed morale for many of them. The symptoms of this trauma have now been collated under the medical designation Dead Earth Sickness. Stability penalty -1 permanent. So now we are at +1 average, which is good enough. As long as it's positive, I guess that's good enough for now. Buildings purging waste. Oh, okay. Cryonic centers. Cryonic centers open cryonic pods. Okay, so this is what the building we need to increase our population. We'll get either workers or non-workers, and we'll be able to find them, and then we awaken people in the cryonic pod. Are you still not... Do I need to have it be powered in order to dismantle it? Apparently so. Oops. Let's enable this one also for those, because we're going to need a lot of space for that. We're probably going to have to build some more storages, actually. Yeah, I shouldn't have... Actually, you know what? Cancel destruction, and then bring the stuff back. I should have just left it alone. I just lost a couple of food production points, but that's alright. We mostly had the game paused during that time anyways, so we didn't lose too much. Is it back on action, or do they have to come over and build it now? Looks like they're coming over to build it now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's a building thing there. Alright, that's fine. I screwed up. It happens. So our science ship is still here collecting science. Our cargo ship is ferrying back and forth. It has all the things selected that we need, so that's great. And then we just finished unlocking steel mill. Now, we were just told about the cryonic center, so maybe that's the next thing we want to research. But we also may want to research batteries, so I think I'm going to do that first. And let's see about building our steel mill. This is a big one. Where to put it is a tough question to ask. I think I'm going to put it here. This potentially blocks our access to these doors over here that lead eventually to the other areas. But I think if I get to the point where I want to do that, I may just move this over somewhere else, and then we can open up the next sector or something, or we could go that way instead. You don't have to go one specific direction. So I think I'm just going to put this in here. We could put it back here, but I want to leave this outer wall for putting in wall-based stuff. So I think we'll just go there with the steel mill, and we'll let them start delivering items there. We did that, thank you. So now we're building the steel mill, and we've mined almost half of the ore already there. Administrator, Sector 1 has almost reached its maximum structural load. With more infrastructure surely needed soon, a new sector will need to be unlocked. Originally, sectors were programmed to automatically unlock after completion of the mission to Proxima Centauri. With the change of the Tiqqun's mission objective, this restriction could be bypassed by manually overriding gateway lock algorithms. One strong piece of advice that I received that I'm passing along to you is, do not do this. Do not do this within 10 cycles. You will likely not be in the right place to be able to handle supporting 2 sectors at this time. So you can, you can try it, but you may not like what happens. So give that some thought before you proceed. And then we also have a new tutorial here for transferring resources between sectors, and we'll come back to this one once we actually open a sector. For now, it doesn't do us any good. Alright, there, I finished that road, and I built that road for a reason that we'll use in a little bit. Almost done here. I thought we might be. There it is. Okay, so the VOHLE has retrieved all the science from Earth. So let's make it go over here to the Urshanabi next. The steel mill is getting built now. We're back to our food supplies here. I think I could probably do another bit of road here, and we might as well, because we might as well let our mechs do something. We have 2 of them. Because we could always build another food. Reach the Urshanabi. Even better. Our sensors have detected the Urshanabi. The ship has broken in 2 and is not transmitting any signals. The phrase, "Whoever helps DOLOS is enemy of humanity," has been daubed in large letters on the wreck of the Urshanabi. Mummified bodies have been attached to its hull. Well, let's gather the remaining resources here. It's the only choice we have, so we'll do it. Inside, I had something that I wanted to build, and I forgot what it was, and then I just remembered again. We'll do 1 more of these. That way we can... Look at them all zip along there. I love seeing that. Time to work. Technology battery tier 1 has been unlocked. So we could look at another tech. We have 75 science. The game wants us to do implied that it wants us to do the cryonic centers. So I guess we can go ahead and do that. I'm not sure if there's a strong reason to do or not to do any specific science. The ship was full of food. I hope the expiration date hasn't passed. Everything is ready for extraction. 42 food. So we'll let the cargo ship continue working on that stuff, and then once it finishes this up, it'll come out here and pick up some iron that's been mined. Ooh, we found a debris field. Did we send a probe over here? Oh, we did send a probe over here. We were looking for Venus. We found a debris field instead. Okay, well then let's do another probe. Where is Venus? Right there. That could be. Incoming transmission.
Administrator, we are picking up a DOLOS emergency frequency broadcasting from the facility Outer Hope.
Ooh.
DOLOS protocol dictates that in the event of a major systems failure, administrators must contact the nearest DOLOS site immediately.
Okay, we can do that.
Outer Hope Station is likely to have both the materials and expertise required to repair the damage that the VOHLE engine has sustained.
Okay. In that case, we can do that as well. Anytime. We have to find it, of course. But we can do that whenever we'd like. So we can't do anything with the... We could come down here to the debris field, I suppose. We could pick that up. I don't know if there's any reason why or what order we should do different tasks in. But if this is Venus, then we might as well see if there's something at Venus, since our science ship is here, before we come all the way back down here. If it's not Venus, then maybe we'll change our mind. At least till the next probe is ready. Hey, that should be Venus, right? It's roughly in the right orbit. Mars, Earth, Venus should be right in there somewhere. Mercury should be in here somewhere too, but that should be on this inner line, I think. I think that's the orbit lines. Oh, the cargo ship came here to get food instead of the rest of the polymer. We found Venus though, so that's good. Let's send our science ship over there. Are we full up on polymer? No. But we could probably have them build us some more storages, more stockpiles. Couple more. And we now have batteries. They store 100 power. So that will last for, depending on how much power you're actually using in your base. And we can now smelt iron, but we don't need to, so I'm going to turn that back off again. Ah, we've arrived at Venus. So depending on how much power you actually need, so we need 110, so that means that one battery would last us just less than one cycle. I could put these over here. They can kind of be put in anywhere. They need road access to build. They need road access for maintenance purposes, at least eventually, but they don't need permanent road access technically. So you can get away with some stuff with that if you'd like. Let's go ahead and go to Venus. Probe data has revealed mining and industrial infrastructure below the surface of Venus. According to reports from the exploration team, the subterranean site consists of mining infrastructure and a large assembly line. Many embalmed bodies were found in the area. The line seems to have been originally used to fabricate solar sails. Tiqqun engineers suggest that with minor repairs, it could be restarted. So we can provide 10 alloy to restart the assembly line, or we can dismantle the assembly line and see what we get. I've actually had mixed feedback on how this works from what I've seen. The dismantle gives you a decent amount of resources up front, and I think it's mostly alloys, but I'm not positive. Whereas the restart gives you... it seems like it gives you a trickle of resources over time. So I think I'm going to try that one out and see what happens with it. So we have to assign a ship to it, of course. So the ship should load up some alloy now and send it out. We're pretty full on alloys right now, so we're going to need a bit more pretty soon. Although they're going to load, was it 20 in there? Wait, wasn't that the cargo ship? The ship is on the way. Shouldn't that have loaded up some alloys? Curious. Oh, it's loading up now. There it is. Oh, it's 10 alloys, right. So maybe it's fine.
Caution. Hull integrity below.
That's what I was looking for.
50%.
I think it should now tell us yes. We need to repair the hull via the construction panel in the exterior view. to get it back up to at least 630 points. We can also, as I mentioned, do that from here, and you can do it from here. So it's now activated, so we should be repairing the hull. We are going to repair it at the cost of 3.5 alloys per cycle to repair 46 points per cycle. And we're running at 87% efficiency. So with the minus 28, we have plus 46, 41 from the active EVA airlocks, and then 5 from the fact that we have optimal working conditions here, because we have 38 jobs that we don't even have filled, let alone trying to stretch everybody thin. So we are we're able to repair 46 units per cycle, and so that means that we have a balance of plus 18. So that's good. You always want that to be able to be positive when you're repairing. Otherwise, you need more EVA airlocks. Yep, we knew that. Oh, we finished the Cryonic Center tech. We only have 30 science again, so I'm going to sit on it again because we can't afford either of these or either of these yet. And we don't know what that one is. Maybe we'll want that one next. I don't know. I don't know if you want to start opening up the cryonics pods right away or not. It seems like it's something you might do once you get low on employees, although, I mean, 38, this is going to take 15, so we really want to do it before we get less than 15 left. How big is this? Could go in there. Too big for that. Maybe I'll just put it there when the time comes. Not that we couldn't get it built now, though. Yeah, let's just get it built now. I'll put it in there. I don't know if I'm building optimally. I really don't. I'm probably not. It may not matter that much. I don't know. We'll see. And also it tells us here that 100 hull units are irreparable. That was the damage that was done from the trip. Alright, we retrieved all the food from the Urshanabi, and we're still working on feeding everybody. Did you deliver? You did deliver. Okay, good. Then you picked up the Urshanabi food on the way back, and then we'll pick up the rest of this polymer here, which means I'm probably going to need another storage for polymer because there's a ridiculous amount here. 121. Actually, is that? No, so it's not a left to right thing. Like, they're not picking up the stuff on the left before the stuff on the right because they picked up the food, which was further away, before picking up the silicon. So, or the polymers rather. So I don't know how they prioritize within the same priority tier. So if you want to be certain of that, then change those priorities. What did we find here? How much iron? 58. That would have been a more reasonable number to mine for this task here, but okay. I should have targeted the simpler one, but I didn't. Let's send another probe. To Mercury, hopefully. If we can find it. Is that it right there? That is it right there. Probably. And we'll just keep sending out probes to all the planets. We'll hit up Mars next. As soon as you get one built. Here's the last of the food come in. And now you can go out and get the rest of that polymer. Oh, did you finish mining already? You did. Nice. So it's coming back in for repairs. You can see the little wrench icon. The ships will come in for repairs whenever they get down to a low value there in that progress bar that's on near the top of the screen there. I don't know if there's anything else that triggers them to do so, but it was automatically going to come over here and start mining iron because it knows there's iron here and it's programmed to mine iron, but then it changed its mind and went to the ship to repair. So it'll pop up in here and get it repaired in a minute. I think the next thing I want to build is another docking bay. We aren't going to need it just yet, maybe, but I think it's a good thing to have for later. We found a new point of interest. Mercury, great. And there's just 15 science here at Mercury, so we'll just pick that up after we finish up at Venus on our way to someplace else. Probably Mars, if we can find it. No. No. There it is. Yeah, so if that's Mars, and on our way there. Although we do need to still make contact with Outer Hope as well. So maybe we should do that. You can see here there's a ship coming in that's going to be under maintenance. Here's our meal cycle next here. Chow down. And they're resupplying the mess hall. There it is. So we have enough food now for cycle 70.
A science ship team has completed a
Yeah, we can go
task.
quite a ways. Alright, we finished up Venus. We have 25 cryopods and 30 science. Let's add cryopods to this ship's duty roster here. And we're going to let the science get collected. In the meantime, let's turn on cryopod storage for one of these storages. I think I'll just do this one. I may move them later. Oops, that was already on. Turn that. There we go. That way, the cargo ship can pick those up and ferry them back here. And we are going to need more storage for polymers. So let's turn that on as well. All right, so Venus is done. So let's pick up some science here at Mercury. Still not sure if I should bother researching another one of these yet, or if we should just wait. We could also... start... We could also start waking people up once we get some people in here. 12 more jobs left because we just spent 12 of them here too. So I was thinking of doing maybe another science ship and maybe another cargo ship, but we also need to keep sending out probes. Is there anything here in the asteroid belt? Yes, there is. Let's go there. Alright, Mercury is done. Let's head out to Mars then. Probe is done. Sector 1 is specialized in space, rank 1. We need to go into our tutorials for that, I think, right? No? I thought there was a tutorial on specialization. Sector specialization. Did we already look at that? We did already look at that. That's right. Okay. So we're now specialized in space level 1. That's because we added this second, so we have like 4 space buildings here. So I think...
Science ship has arrived at its destination.
Let's go there first. An old disused complex named Richter's facility has been located on the surface of Mars. The derelict UN-owned facility is covered almost entirely by Martian sand. Existing DOLOS clearance codes can be used to interact with the complex's systems. Caution is advised as the weight of the sand may exceed the structure's load-bearing capacity. So we only have one choice here, to use DOLOS clearance codes to access the complex. The crew of the Foucault will use access codes that were functional before the Tiqqun's VOHLE jump to interact with the Martian facility. It's going to take us 1 cycle, and I think I will build an additional couple of ships here. We'll start with a cargo ship, I think, and then probably do a science ship after that. And here they come, zipping in here. We have plenty of polymers, so I think it makes sense. And running 2 science ships simultaneously is not a bad deal. And obviously we're going to want a lot of cargo coming in, so having more cargo is a good idea too.
A science ship team has completed a task.
The codes briefly reactivated the base's defense systems. Due to the facility's state, they fortunately overloaded and are now offline. The team of the Foucault did not suffer any losses. Resumed a listening protocol. So now we have some more tasks to do. There are There are varying types of, or varying amounts of rewards from all 4 of these. The one that seems like it gives me the best rewards is going to be investigate the storage area. The Focal's team will prepare any resources in the facility storage area for cargo ship extraction. I think at least one of these may cause some sort of damaging problem. I'm trying to remember if it was this site or another site, but we're just going to investigate the storage area because I think that one gives us the best results. And I just got an achievement called Wakey Wakey. Oh, because we probably woke up our first pod people. We have woken up our first pod people. Nice. I hadn't done this yet on my test game. I waited there and I said not to wait here. So we can, I don't know if you force these people to be workers, how these checkboxes work. We're going to have to put up some more houses pretty soon though. What have we here? Oh, that's fleet management. Why are you, oh, because I have another cargo ship, right. Let's set these all the same. Like that. For now, that way they can just get whatever we want. But we're going to have to build a few more crew quarters here. Let's do that. We were prepared for later.
A science ship team has completed a task.
We managed to locate and extract a small quantity of resources from the facility storage area. During the final stages of extraction, our perimeter team discovered a wall on the verge of collapse. They warned us before it gave way and sand flooded the area. No one was seriously injured. It was this place. If you do some of the other ones, I think people end up getting injured or dying. 31 alloy, 25 cryopods, and 50 science. So we'll leave the science ship there for a little bit longer while we continue doing some probing, I guess. Jupiter will be in... Actually, let's make sure there's not anything else in points of interest-wise in the asteroid belt. I think there's only one here. Yep. So now Jupiter... Oh, it's right there. It's right there? Really? Okay. Right there next to the asteroid belt. Well, that'll be a nice flight back toward there then, I guess. Right? And then I think the second science ship is just about done, so we could actually even send that out to do something else too. Yeah, we have the Montessori. Do we want to send that out? Let's send that out to the asteroid belt. I think that's reasonable. Again, without knowing the exact order of things here, or if there's an exact order that you should follow. All the science has been retrieved from Mars, so let's head back out there and... Foucault, come back here to the debris field. Another probe. Yeah, that was Jupiter, indeed. So Saturn, if there's not anything else in Jupiter's orbit. Some ice there. Where's Saturn? Or rather, what else is in Jupiter's orbit? Nothing. Okay. Saturn, then? Is out there. Already. Another probe. What have you got? Yep, we know we found Jupiter. There's nothing to do with Jupiter. You can see our cargo ships are flying back and forth to Mars now, picking up items. And like I said, they'll just pick up iron whenever they can. We could turn this on again if we wanted. We're gonna need some power though. Let's do one other thing first here. Did we get this done to a high enough level? Yeah, it went away. So let's, they'll leave it turned on, but we'll come out here and we're actually going to build some more solar panels before we lose power again. And let's go to the asteroid belt. We have detected a signal broadcasting on a DOLOS frequency. It originates from a mineral extraction station named the Stanford Facility. We theorized that the Stanford facility will contain many materials useful to the Tiqqun and its crew. However, in order to recover them, we will need to dismantle elements of the structure to gain entrance. A control center has been identified, but is sealed off by a shutter with a UN emblem stenciled over it. The message has been written beneath the emblem in an unknown language. We have no idea what it says, but it's accompanied by a helical-shaped symbol. All right, so here in the asteroid belt, we want to probably dismantle part of the facility. You can get... I think you can get more resources with the force entry, but also there's more potential problems, drawbacks of it. So I think we're going to do dismantle here. And I also think that we're going to end this episode here, and we'll return in the next one to start working on the debris field, as well as looking at the asteroid belt for what else we might be able to get from there, and continue sending out probes to try and find any other technologies or any other points of interest we might find here in the system. We obviously have Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune to continue, as well as we still need to find the Outer Hope, which I think was out in the Oort cloud when we found it in the last in the prologue. So we'll get out there and we'll find that one at some point here as well. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.